Hello and welcome back to the channel. This episode, we're finally getting to something that I've been very excited about for a really long time, and that is planting a bunch of fruit trees and starting an orchard. After having picked out the fruit trees a week ago at a local nursery and paid for them, this entire project actually starts with some storm cleanup from the months past. I still haven't fixed the tire and need to inflate it every time I use the tractor. During one of the storms, some branches have broken off and are obstructing the trailer that I'm planning on taking to the nursery to pick up our stuff. Put some pine trunks down and then stack everything else in the pile right by the firewood that still needs to be processed anyway. I have the entire week after Easter off of work, so I'm able to get started early in the morning and put in full days into this project as well as finishing the nursery. Another couple of branches from those same storms are obstructing access to the area that we will need access to in order to plant the trees. The storm also broke off the entire top of a tree that is abutting the future orchard. As I'm expecting it to die, I'm just going to take it down now instead of waiting for it to later fall on the fence. And the amount of firewood that still needs to be processed keeps growing and growing. One side for stuff that still needs to be split, one side for stuff that needs to be cut to length. As is tradition, we have some last-minute plan changes. Originally, I wanted to do individual cages around each tree to protect them from the deer. Now the plan is to actually build a perimeter fence. So I have several T-posts and a T-post driver, and I'm working with them for the first time. So I'm looking to replace the stakes that Chris and I had put in previously in the year with some T-posts to designate the corners. quite a bit easier to drive them into the ground than I expected, and they seem really sturdy. Because we're bringing in some equipment, I'm trying to be as prepared as possible. The plan is to mark the locations of the holes that have to be dug with these old dig safe flags from the transformer install. I measure along a mason line that I've run between the corner posts and then run 100-foot tape along the long side of the rectangle to stake out the distances of my trees. By the way, this is what it's supposed to look like when it's done. I've rented an excavator for the day, and it gets delivered first thing Saturday morning. At first, the controls seem overwhelming. There's 2 joysticks, each with thumb action. There's another lever for the blade, and then of course the 2 levers for the tracks. But I'm amazed at how intuitive this is, and after just 20 minutes, you really start figuring it out. If you have a chance to ever drive an excavator, I can only recommend it. It's so much fun. There's a total of 17 planting holes to dig. Mike is directing traffic, and we try to plan it in a way that the dirt that we take out of the holes is consolidated in as few piles as possible. This thing is a beast, and the job's pretty much done after an hour and a half. The ground is surprisingly free of big rocks and roots, which I was expecting based on the experience from building the woodshed. It would be a lot of fun to keep playing with the excavator, but because we need to get the trees into the ground tomorrow and we'll need to have a way to protect them from deer pressure overnight, we decide it's best to move on to building the fence. Setting the posts is really quick and easy, and I'm glad that we decided to go with the T-posts and with the perimeter fence. The hope is that eventually we will build a permanent fence, but at this point it would have just expanded the scope of the project so much that we would have needed several additional days. We hang the wire fence using zip ties and use pickets that we cut into stakes in order to support the posts at the gates as well as the corners. Chris joins the party a few hours later, and we're able to get the fence finished by mid-afternoon. And finally, planting day. Unfortunately, we get a really late start. The drain from the kitchen sink is clogged, and after several unsuccessful attempts to snake it, we end up having to cut out the entire drain pipe and replace it. The unexpected repair takes several hours, and we don't get to planting until after lunch. Fortunately, we're able to recruit some extra help. We end up planting 4 out of the 17 trees that Sunday, and I'm putting the remainder of the trees in bit by bit after work throughout the week. I make a mound in the middle of the planting hole that is a mix of 80% of this super loam, which is a compost and loam blend, and then 20% of the dirt that was originally in the hole. After the planting hole is filled, I rake a ring of dirt slightly elevated around the tree to make sure that we don't have water runoff and help with moisture retention. Eventually, I'm planning on adding mulch to this, wood chips or something of the sort, but I don't have that available now, so this will have to do. Also, I got these fertilizer pellets that I'm supposed to put just outside the root ball from the nursery. I'm so excited to finally have this done. The trees have a chance to get established, and we get super lucky with the weather, which is overcast and wet pretty much all week. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.